Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, Text number 6. Yavai Laksasri Tulasi Vimishra Krishnangri Renu Abhyadi Kambu Netri Punati Lokan Ubhayatra Seshan Kastam na seveta marishyamanaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The river Ganges, by which the king sat to fast, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulasi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds inside and outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit, just after receiving the news of his death within 7 days, at once retired from family life and shifted himself to the sacred bank of the Yamuna river. Generally, it is said that the king took shelter on the banks of Ganges, but according to Sri Jiva Goswami, the king took shelter on the banks of Yamuna. Sri Jiva Goswami's statement appears to be more accurate because of the geographical situation. Maharaj Parikshit resided in the capital Hastinapura, situated near the present Delhi, and the river Yamuna flows down past the city. Naturally, the king would have taken shelter of the river Yamuna because she was flowing past his palace door. And as far as sanctity is concerned, the river Yamuna is more directly connected with Lord Krishna than the Ganges. The Lord sanctified the river Yamuna from the beginning of his transcendental pastimes in the world. While his father Vasudeva was crossing the Yamuna with the baby Lord Krishna for a safe place at Gokula, on the other banks of the river from Mathura, the Lord fell down in the river, and by the dust of his lotus feet, the river at once became sanctified. It is especially mentioned herein that Maharaj Parikshit took shelter of that particular river, which is beautifully flowing, carrying the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna mixed with tulasi leaves. Lord Krishna's lotus feet are always besmeared with the tulasi leaves, and thus as soon as his lotus feet contact the water of Ganges and the Yamuna, the rivers become at once sanctified. The Lord, however, contacted the river Yamuna more than the Ganges. According to Varaha Purana, as quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is no difference between the water of Ganges and Yamuna, but when the water of Ganges is sanctified 100 times, it is called the Yamuna. Similarly, it is said in the scriptures that 1,000 names of Vishnu are equal to one name of Rama, and 3 names of Lord Rama are equal to one name of Krishna. The whole country is now preparing for the Mahakumbh that is happening at Prayagraj. So that is a very auspicious place because there are 3 rivers, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. There is a confluence, Triveni Sangama. Of course, Saraswati river is considered as invisible river. It is existing, but it's invisible. But more visible are Ganges and Yamuna. In fact, there is a shloka which Prabhupada quotes that Prakrusto Yaga Phalam Yasmat. It is said in Prayagraj, there are a lot of sacrifice that has happened. And the place is so auspicious that one can immediately feel the spiritual influence of that place when one takes dip there. That's why it is called Tirtharaja. Of all the Tirthas, that is called Tirtharaja. In fact, 500 years ago, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there. He was there for 10 days during the month of January, and this is recorded in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, Ye mata chali Prabhu Prayaga Aila Dashadina Triveni te Makarasthana Kaila. So Chaitanya Prabhu went there, and for 10 days continuously he took bath there. It is said, although there is confluence of mighty rivers, Prayagraj was never flooded, except when Chaitanya went 500 years ago. He flooded entire Prayagraj with the chanting and the love of Godhead. In fact, we are also interested because even Prabhupada went there in the year 1970 for the Ardha Kumbh. Next year it is Mahakumbh. When Prabhupada went, it was Ardha Kumbh. And Prabhupada says, we have come here because lot of people come and we want to preach Krishna consciousness. We want to do kirtans here. In fact, it is expected that about 400 million or 40 crore people visit during the Mahakumbh. And interestingly, in today's shloka, we have the description of Ganges, Yamuna, the wonder of Yamuna and Ganges, and also there is mention of Lord Shiva. It is said that Ganges sanctifies even Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is such a great personality. If you read Prabhupada books very carefully, if you read Bhagavatam very carefully, there's a wonderful description of Lord Shiva. In fact, in Bhagavatam 3rd canto, Kashyapa Muni, he describes that Lord Shiva, he is the greatest living entity. He is greater than any living entity in the world, even up to Brahma. But of course, he is lesser than Lord Vishnu. In other sense, he is in between the living entities and Lord Vishnu. But he is very wonderful. It is said that Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva, his only goal is how to glorify Krishna. And we are also interested because Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam yatho shambho. And Lord Shiva, he has a bull as his vehicle, Nandi. And Bhagavatam describes that his body is reddish in color. And then he is always accompanied by ghosts. There is a shloka in 3rd canto which says, Smashana chakra nila dhuri dhumbra vikirna vidyota jatakalpakaha bhasvama guntamala rukma deho devastribihi pashyati devaraste. Lord Shiva is reddish in color and is always accompanied by ghosts. His body is smeared with ashes, and his hair has the ashes due to the whirlwind of dust from the burning crematorium. And he is also called as Bhutanatha. He is a lord of ghosts. We might have heard about ghosts. Prabhupada in many instances he says, yes, there are ghosts in this world. And who are ghosts? Ghosts are nothing but living entities without a gross body. So there is Atma. Atma is surrounded by subtle body like mind, intelligence. Then there is false ego, and then it has gross body. Now if somebody is so sinful in his previous life, or if somebody commits suicide, then he will not get a gross body next life as a punishment. It is a punishment because for you to satisfy your material desires, you require a body. You have a desire to eat some nice sweets and savories. For that you need body, you need this tongue. And when the tongue, touches one nice sweets, then the Atma experiences joy. Now if you don't have tongue, but have desire to eat, how will you enjoy? So that is why the ghosts are most condemned living entities, and it's a sort of punishment. So Shiva is so merciful that he is giving association to the ghosts, and he wants to purify them and he wants to liberate them. That is why he is very merciful. And of course ghosts are everywhere, and more so in crematorium, in Smashana. So you will find Lord Shiva in crematorium giving association to his ghost and trying to liberate them. It is said Lord Shiva has 3 eyes. One eye is compared to sun, one more eye is compared to moon, and the third eye is compared to fire. And this fire is so fierce and powerful that it can burn anybody, including Lord Brahma. Through his third eye, he is seeing living entities which combine illegitimately at a wrong time, at a wrong circumstance, and he places such ghost in the womb of such mother. He is doing it to third eye. That is why if we want good children, we have to follow Garbhadan Samskar, the Vedic system of conceiving children. Or else we will get children, with undesirable character. So anyway, that is the greatness of Lord Shiva, and he is trying to liberate the ghost. And Lord Shiva is also very merciful. He very easily awards material opulences. That is why he is called as Ashutosha. He will award. He doesn't think twice. If he is pleased, he will award. Ravanasura is one of the great devotees of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva gave him all the power because he was pleased with his austerity. And of course, when Ravana fought with Rama, Shiva never supported it. We also have an example of Vrikasura. Vrikasura is a great demon, and he had performed great austerities to please Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva appeared, he asked that he need a boon by which when he places his hand on anybody's head, he will die immediately. He is vanquished. He becomes Bhasma. Shiva granted that wish, and this Asura was so demoniac, he wanted to test this boon on Lord Shiva himself. So he wanted to touch Lord Shiva's head, and Shiva was helpless. Then Shiva ran to Lord Vishnu and took his shelter. Then Lord Vishnu, by trick, he sent a woman, and then by some trick, he made sure that Vrikasura touched his hand on his head, and that's how he died. So Shiva doesn't think too much. He just gives. That's why it's called Ashutosha. He is also called as Rudra. He also gets angry very easily. Very easily he gets angry. So in Bhagavatam, there is a description of conversation between Kashyapa Muni and his wife Diti. Kashyapa Muni is the Prajapati, son of Brahma, very powerful. And he had two wives, Diti and Aditi. Suras was born to Aditi and Asuras were born to Diti. So it so happened that Diti forced Kashyapa Muni to combine at a wrong time and wrong circumstance. In spite of Kashyapa Muni's warning, Diti forced. And then, Kashyapa Muni warned Diti now that you might be in trouble because Shiva has seen this to the third eye. So Diti, in fact, she wanted to glorify Shiva and she does a prayer to please Lord Shiva. She acknowledges that Shiva is Ashutosha and also Rudra. She says, this is recorded in Bhagavatam, Namo Rudraya Mahate Deva Yograya Midase Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya Drita Dandaya Manyave. Diti is saying, I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Shiva. She says, angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously very ferocious, at the same time, fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. And she is begging Lord Shiva, please forgive me for the mistakes and please protect my pregnancy. So Lord Shiva has normally two varieties of devotees. Because his Ashutosha, people go and beg material opulence so that they'll easily get it. And they are called as karmis. And some people want to merge in the body of Lord Shiva. That's why they say Shivoham, I am Shiva, Aham, Shivoham. They are called the Gyanis. So mostly these Gyanis and Karmis are devotees of Lord Shiva. But although Shiva is so powerful, he is bestowed with lot of Vaishnava qualities. Just like he is equal to everybody. It is said there is nobody who is very dear or nobody enemy to Lord Shiva. He is neutral, which is the quality of a Vaishnava. In fact, Kashyapa Muni is also warning Diti by saying, you might say that we are related to Lord Shiva, but mind you, he is equal to everybody. The so-called this relationship cannot help you because he is equal to everybody. And as I said, Lord Shiva is always happy when somebody goes to him, prays to him to become a devotee of Lord Krishna. He will bless such souls with great happiness. He will not be happy if you say you are great, you are the supreme. He will be very happy when you say the Krishna is the supreme Lord and please make me devotee of Krishna. If you go to Dharmasthala, the process of offering is very interesting. It is said the food, the bhoga is offered to Saligrama, Narsimha, and then as prasadam is given to Lord Shiva. And Shiva takes prasadam of the Lord and then that becomes Mahaprasadam. When a pure devotee takes Lord's remnants, it becomes Mahaprasadam. And that pleases Lord Shiva, not directly offering to Lord Shiva. Now, Shiva is so great, so wonderful, such a great Vaishnava. And such a great devotee, such a great personality can be sanctified even by Ganges. You can wonder how great the Ganges is. Why is Ganges so wonderful, so great? In Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a nice shloka which says, Chinmaya Jala Ye Parama Karana Yara Ekakana Ganga Patita Pavana. It is said, Vamandeva, he pierced the universal shell with his toes. And this Karana ocean is spiritual. It is beyond this universal shell. Few drops of Karana ocean leaked inside this material universe, and the few drops became Ganges. And because this water was touched by the feet of the Lord, it became fully sanctified. And Lord's feet is always smeared with ganda and the tulsi leaves. And this celestial water had touched the Lord's feet and the leaves, and hence it has become sanctified. And that is why Ganges has become glorious. In fact, Prabhupada says, anybody who takes bath in Ganges regularly, he'll be freed from all diseases, and also he'll become a nice devotee of Lord. We also have the instances of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going to Kashi. In Kashi, there are a lot of ghats. There's a ghat called Panchaganga Ghat. And there is very nice Bindu Madhava temple. And Chaitanya used to take bath there. And even now, people go to Kashi for immersing the ashes. You know, people might die anywhere and everywhere, but they burn the body and the ashes, they dip in the Ganges. Why is it so auspicious to, to put the ashes in the Ganges? In fact, in Bhagavatam, even Bhagirath, there's a personality called Bhagirath which is described in Bhagavatam. He wanted to liberate his forefathers. He had ashes with him on this planet Earth. He wanted to liberate, and he knew the power of Ganges. So he requested Ma Ganga to please come to this planet Earth. He did a great austerity. So Mother Ganges agreed to come, but she had two issues. She said, you see, I can come to planet Earth, but the water is so fierce and forceful that it will create a hole on this planet Earth, and it will go to lower planets, maybe Rasatala and Patala. We all know there are 14 planetary systems, 7 upper and 7 lower. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Mahatala, Talatala, Rasatala, and Patala. The water will go up to Patala. Who will sustain the force of this water? Is her first question. And second thing she said, you see, this water is so purifying. When people take bath, they will leave back their sins in Ganges. So that means there is accumulation of sin. Then who will protect me from the sinful reactions? Please answer this. Very valid question, because sinful reactions can be taken away only by the Supreme Lord. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. Only Lord has the power to take away all your sins and grant you entry into the back to Godhead. How is it possible? That is when Bhagirath, he knew the quality of Lord Shiva, and he goes to Lord Shiva and begs Lord Shiva. He says, you see, I want to liberate my forefathers. I have their asti with me. If Ganges comes down, they'll be liberated. Not only that, so many people will be liberated now and in future. Can you please sustain the force? Then Lord Shiva agrees. And Lord Shiva also knows the power of Ganges because it was touched by the lotus feet of Lord. So when the Ganges fell, he very gracefully, very carefully, he sustained the force, and from there, it came to the planet Earth. And the second question of who will take away all the accumulated sinful reactions in Ganges? Father Bhagirath says, Sadavo nyasinaha shanta brahmarshitha lokapavanaha haranti aghamte angasangat teshu aste hi aghabidharihi. He says, there are a lot of pure devotees of Lord who always carry the Lord in their heart. They're always engaged in singing and glorifying the Lord. And when these pure devotees come and take baths, they have the power to purify even the Ganges water, sanctify even the Ganges water. You see, this is the power of Vaishnavas, the pure devotees of Lord. Because they're so close to God, by their direction, it is possible to sanctify anybody and everybody. That is why it is said that when you see a great Vaishnava, we should offer proper respects. We should know their value and offer proper respects. There is a strong statement which says if you fail to offer respect, you should fast on that day. That is why when people enter the main temple hall, yes, the moment we see Prabhupada, we offer our obeisance. So this is the glory of Vaishnavas. And when Ganga heard this, she was fully pacified. Okay, all right. Now I'll come to planet Earth. And when she came, Bhagirath took a few drops of Ganges water, and then he sprinkled on the ashes, and their forefathers were liberated. It is the power of Ganges. So Ganges is so powerful that she can even sanctify Lord Shiva. That's what the shloka says. And then in the purport, Prabhupada speaks about the glory of Yamuna. So Ganges sanctified by 100 times is Yamuna. Why is Yamuna so great? That is because Lord Krishna, Radharani, Gopis, the Gopas, all the Vaishnavas performed their wonderful pastimes there. Like as told in the purport, when Vasudeva was transferring Krishna from Mathura to Gokul, Yamuna was flowing very ferociously. And then Krishna fell down on the water. He fell down to purify Yamuna. And she was fully sanctified. And in Nectar of Devotion, there is a wonderful description of how great Vaishnavas or great devotees of Lord have performed wonderful pastimes with Krishna. It is said, when Krishna feels separation from Radharani or Gopis, he goes to the banks of river Yamuna. One day, he was waiting to see Radharani, and then there were a lot of Kadamba trees around Yamuna. He started making garland from the Kadamba trees, and then Radharani came and he offered that garland. He was so happy. It is said when Radharani feels separation from Krishna, she goes to the banks of river Yamuna and she keeps thinking of the Lord. One day, when she was feeling separation, she saw a beautiful cottage there. And then she remembered, how she was engaged in a wonderful, sweet talk with Krishna in this cottage. And then, that's how, Yamuna is a nice place. It is said when gopis, they walk on the banks of river Yamuna, they spot certain footprints and they make out, oh, this footprint has a thunderbolt sign, it has a fish sign, it has a lotus flower, it has a sign of a rod which is used to control elephants. So this is Krishna's footprint. The moment they think of Krishna, they're overjoyed. Tears flow from their eyes like torrential rain. Their hands stand up and they jump. They say, how wonderful it is, how wonderful it is. It is said on the banks of river Yamuna, Gopas enjoy their pastime with Krishna. One day, one beautiful spring day, there was crackling of the dry leaves. And then the Gopas were murmuring and there was thundering in the sky. On this beautiful, picturesque day, Sridham was tightening his cloth belt to wrestle and fight with Krishna. Such wonderful is the Yamuna river. In fact, in a scripture called Hamsaduta, it is also recorded that Lord Krishna always longs to be on the banks of river Yamuna and then enjoy this wonderful pastimes with the Gopas. In the Lalita Madhava, Rupa Goswami says that Lord Krishna's eyebrows are like the Yamuna waves and Radharani's smile is like the moonshine. So when the Yamuna and the moonshine combine, it's a very, very nice atmosphere there. The water of river Yamuna tastes like nectar. And even Rupa Goswami recalls in Mathura Mandala that how Lord Chaitanya used to spend a lot of time on the banks of river Yamuna thinking of a Lord Krishna surrounded by Kadamba trees, and then he used to enjoy that. Devotees always long to go to river Yamuna, chant the holy names and dance, glorifying Lord Krishna. That is why Yamuna is very special for Vaishnavas. Very, very special. That's why we spend a lot of time in Yamuna river. In fact, in the purport also, Prabhupada says, even Parikshit Maharaj was found hearing Bhagavatam from Shukade Goswami on the banks of river Yamuna. Because he is from Hastinapura. He was in the capital city, which is near Delhi. So obviously it is Yamuna which is flowing. Nowadays people highlight the dirt in Yamuna. Oh, there is a foam in Yamuna. And people laugh. Hey, they're taking bath in Yamuna. It is so dirty. They don't know the spiritual significance. For one to know the spiritual significance of Yamuna river or any other Tirtha Sthala, we need the help and guidance of a pure Vaishnava. It is said, one has to hear before he sees Tirtha Sthala, before he sees Yamuna or Ganges. And one has to, that is why Acharyas recommend that one has to perform devotional service for you to pick up the spiritual vibrations from this place. And devotional service is not too complicated. We think, oh, devotional service, pure devotion. No worry. Devotional service means very simple, Yagnarthat. Yagnarthat means whatever you have, you please offer it to Krishna. Whatever you have. Oh, you have some time today, please offer your time to Krishna by doing service. Oh, you have some talent, please offer it to Krishna. Oh, you have a nice flower plant at your home. Okay, get that flower and offer it to Krishna. Oh, you're very talkative. You like to be with friends. Okay, you be talkative and talk about Krishna, talk about temple, talk about festivals, talk about Kumbh Mela. So nothing you need to give. Oh, you like piano. Okay, do some Hare Krishna mantra. Very simple. Devotional service is very simple. Whatever you have, you please offer it to Krishna. Yagnarthat. That's all. Very simple. In Bhagavatam, first canto, there is a beautiful description of how Bhishma Deva offered anger in the service of Lord. Krodha. Generally, we think we offer praises in the service of Lord. We offer all good articles in the service of Lord. All nice things in the service of Lord. But Bhishma was in a very challenging situation. He was thinking, what do I have now to offer? Nothing. Oh, I have anger. All right, I'll offer anger to Krishna. So there's a beautiful description in Mahabharata, of course in Bhagavatam, that once Duryodhana, during the Kurukshetra wars, he was very unhappy with Bhishma Deva. He said, Bhishma, I think you are very lenient on the Pandavas. I know Arjuna is your favorite, but you're on my side. You're not yet killed them. Now Bhishma, due to obligation, financial obligation, he had to favor Duryodhana, the Kauravas. He had to fight against Pandavas. Bhishma knew there is Krishna there, so they are right, but still out of obligation he had to fight. So Bhishma takes a vow. Tomorrow I will kill the 5 Pandavas, the Pancha Pandavas. And here are the 5 special arrows which will kill the Pandavas. Duryodhana was very happy. I said, wow, tomorrow is the day I'm waiting for. And then I become king. So he asked Bhishma, can I keep these arrows with me? Very safely I will keep. Tomorrow morning I'll give you this and you can fight and kill them. Bhishma said, all right. And he very carefully keeps the arrows. And in Vedic times, wars are fought, on principles and in sportive spirit. So only from sunrise to sunset they fight. After sunset, they're all friends. They go to each other camps and, they have dinner time together. They sing, they dance, they do so many things. They party. So Krishna, the Supreme Lord, he knows everything what is happening. He has heard this conversation. Then he goes to Arjuna. Arjuna, remember, once Duryodhana said, he will satisfy one boon of yours. You can ask one desire which he will satisfy. This is the right time to ask. You please ask 5 arrows. Arjuna says, all right. So then Arjuna goes to the other camp. Duryodhana is very happy. Oh, welcome Arjuna, come, let's have nice food. What do you want? Hey, you said you'll satisfy one desire of mine. Remember? Yes, I remember. Do you want kingdom? He said, no. Because he knows if I ask kingdom tomorrow, he will fight again. Because after sunrise, again the Krodha comes. He said, no, I just want those 5 arrows. Oh, that's it. Take the 5 arrows. Now they're in sporty spirit, he gave away. And then, Arjuna came back. And next day morning, sun has risen. Now the Krodha came back. All the friendship went away. He goes to Bhishma and complains, look what Arjuna has done. And Bhishma Deva knows. How did Arjuna know the secret conversation that I had with Duryodhana? It is only because of Krishna. Krishna is the culprit. Bhishma is thinking, I want to do service to Krishna. How can I serve? This is the opportunity. I have Krodha. He generates Krodha. Now I will offer anger to Krishna. He takes a vow. Don't worry, Duryodhana. I will kill Arjuna today. Whoever comes on the way, I will fight him. Everybody were happy. Duryodhana was happy and he's looking at Bhishma Deva. Bhishma takes arrow, very sharp and powerful arrows. He's shooting at Arjuna and Krishna comes in between. That arrow also pierces Krishna. And for the outside world, Krishna, there is bruise. He is wounded. So many things happening. And Arjuna is also wounded. He's almost getting killed. They're all very happy. But between Krishna and Arjuna, it is a loving exchange. Because between Krishna and Bhishma, it is a loving exchange. Because Krishna's body is Sachidananda. It is not like material body. Our body can be pierced by weapon and it will pain us. But when it comes to Krishna, this Sachidananda. Anything and everything you offer to Krishna with love, Krishna will accept it. And Bhishma also knows this. Actually, Bhishma is enjoying it. So, for the world, it is the sharp arrows which is piercing Krishna and Krishna is getting wounded. But for Krishna, it is the flower garland with love which Bhishma is offering and he is enjoying. Krishna is enjoying those piercing of arrows. In fact, if you go to Parthasarathi Perumal temple in Chennai, if you see the Utsavar, it is defaced. So that is because of the arrows which Bhishma pierces on Krishna. So Krishna is telling the world that I'll accept anything offered with love. I care for love. I fall for love of my devotees. So the war is getting even fierce. Arjuna was almost killed. And Bhishma knows either Arjuna will be killed or Krishna has to break his promise. So he's almost killed. That's when Krishna gets down the chariot. He takes the wheel. He runs like a lion towards Bhishma. While running, his garments fell down. He doesn't take a note of it and stands in front of Bhishma to kill him. And then Bhishma was very happy to see this. In fact, Bhishma desired it. He wanted to see the Lord break the promise and come like this. And that is why Krishna, in order to satisfy Bhishma Deva, he created a situation as if Arjuna was almost killed and Krishna gets angry, takes the wheel and goes in front of Bhishma. And what does Bhishma see? There is a very beautiful description in Bhagavatam, what the Krishna seen by Bhishma. It is said, Yudhi Turaga Rajo Vidhumbra Vishwat Kacha Lurita Shamavari Alankritasya Mama Nishita Sharirer Vibhadyamana Tvachi Vilasat Kavachestu Krishna Atma. The translation, Prabhupada says, on the battlefield, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of the horses. And because of his labor, beads of sweat wetted his face. Beads of sweat wetted his face. All these decorations, you see this wound, this tired, these are decorations on Krishna's body. That's what Bhishma is seeing. All these decorations intensified by the wounds dealt by my sharp arrows, Bhishma is saying, my sharp arrows were enjoyed by Krishna. Let my mind now think of this wonderful form of Lord Krishna. The beautiful Krishna seen by Bhishma and Krishna is standing there. Okay, Bhishma, this was your desire, right? Look, I'm standing here, having broken my promise. to satisfy Bhishma Deva. You see, this is bhakti. Bhakti yoga is the simplest thing. Whatever you have, give it to Krishna. Bhishma had only anger, he gave it to Krishna. This is bhakti yoga. You do bhakti yoga, and then you'll appreciate all this wonderful tirtha sthalas that is happening in this world. If you think, no, I don't have anything to give. It is very tough for me to give. Don't worry. We have one simple formula in this Kali Yuga. What is that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We should chant the mantra, but we should fix the number of rounds. Whatever rounds we have committed, we have to fix that. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to chant fixed number of rounds every day. Fixed number of rounds. Nityananda is addressing Chaitanya while he was ready to go to South India tour. He's saying, Tomara dui hasta baddha nama ganane. Tomara dui hasta baddha nama ganane. So it is said, on one hand, Chaitanya used to count the number of times of Hare Krishna he chants. On the other hand, he used to count the number of rounds he chants. You see, even he used to chant fixed number of rounds. And that is why, following his footsteps, even the Shed Goswamis, Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natabi, even they used to chant fixed number of rounds. Haridas Thakur used to chant 3 lakh times every day. 3 lakh times the names of Krishna. That is why in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada recommends at least we should chant 28,000 times the names of Krishna, which is 16 rounds. I know all of us are chanting some rounds. So whatever rounds you are chanting, please make sure that have a count and chant those many number of rounds every day without fail. And our goal is to touch 16 rounds. Sankhya is very, very important. Not only chanting, we should fix the number of pages of Prabhupada books you will read every day. You can't decide, I will read Prabhupada books. You should fix number of pages you chant every day. Again, Sankhya is number has to come, measurable number. Somebody should measure it. And then you should fix number of hours of seva you will do every day. The number has to be fixed. You have to fix the number of times you will visit the temple every week. You should fix number of times you will go to pilgrimage places along with devotees. Every year you have to fix number, measurable number. Even in the management world, they say it's called SMART goals. SMART, SMART goals. M stand for measurable. T stand for time bound. So it should be measurable. It should be time bound. It should be simple. Whatever you can, please do it. It's very important. Number, Sankhya is important. And when we chant like this, with Sankhya Purvaka, under the direction of Vaishnavas, certainly it is very purifying. It will sanctify our body, it will sanctify the place we are, it will sanctify the whole world. It is said the chanting of the holy name is so powerful that it will eliminate all the ignorance and darkness and fills that place with light of peace and prosperity. In Nectar of Devotion, it is recorded that whenever Narada chants Hare Krishna Mahamantra, especially when he went near Lord Shiva and chanted Hare Krishna, the blue lines on the neck of Lord Shiva disappeared. So much so the Parvati got doubt, is he my husband, Lord Shiva? It is said, when he chanted Hare Krishna near Balaram, Balarama's blue cloth became white. Balaram was wondering, I wear blue clothes, what is happening? It is said when Hare Krishna mantra is chanted on the banks of river Yamuna, Yamuna water became milk. And gopis were churning butter out of that. This is the power of the holy name. The holy name will purify that whole place. With this, like to stop. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.